Imagine this. Elon Musk, the man who built the world's most influential EV company, the man who convinced millions to switch from gasoline to electricity, suddenly climbing into a car that supposedly powers itself. No charging stations. No batteries plugged in. No solar panels. Just endless power. A car invented not in Silicon Valley, not in Shanghai, but in Africa by Maxwell Chikumbutso. And today, for the first time ever, Elon Musk is about to test drive it. The story begins inside a private testing facility on the outskirts of Pretoria. A matte black prototype sits silently in the center of the hangar. No cables, no sound, no blinking lights. Just a mysterious presence, almost like it's hiding its own secrets. Elon steps forward, hands in pockets, expression unreadable. He circles the car slowly, inspecting every inch. A senior engineer from Maxwell's team breaks the silence. Mr. Musk, it doesn't require charging. It generates its own power indefinitely. Elon pauses, looks up, and responds with that signature half-smirk. Show me. The car door opens with a soft hydraulic hiss. Elon climbs inside the driver's seat. The interior is shockingly minimalistic. No ignition, no start button. Just a smooth console with a single glowing line of text. Ready. Maxwell gestures from outside. Just press the pedal. Elon raises an eyebrow, then presses gently. The car glides forward silently, flawlessly, with zero vibration. He presses harder. The vehicle surges ahead, smoother than any Tesla, more responsive than a roadster. But here's where the impossible begins. Every EV on Earth loses charge during acceleration. But this one? The power meter moves up, not down. Elon's eyes widen. He pulls the car into a sharp turn. The handling responds instantly. He accelerates again, the needle climbs even higher. He mutters under his breath. That's not possible. Maxwell's chief engineer calls out. It regenerates more power than it consumes. Acceleration increases energy, not decreases it. Elon brakes suddenly. The car stops. He sits silently for a moment, staring at the dashboard like it's rewriting the laws of physics right in front of him. Then, without warning, he steps on the accelerator hard. The prototype launches forward with a burst of torque so strong that even Elon grabs the wheel with both hands. No lag. No delay. No battery drain. Outside, Maxwell's team exchanges nervous glances. This is the first time anyone has pushed the prototype this aggressively. Elon keeps going faster. And faster. The power gauge keeps rising. Then, he does something no one expected. He takes the car off the testing track and heads toward the open industrial road beyond the facility gates. One of Maxwell's engineers panics. Is he allowed to do that? Maxwell just smiles. Let him learn. Elon reaches open road and hits a speed no self-powered EV has ever recorded. Wind tearing across the body. Prototype systems push to their limit, but still, the car generates power effortlessly. Finally, Elon slows down, stops the car on the side of the quiet road, and steps out. He stands there for several seconds, staring silently at the horizon. When Maxwell's team reaches him, Elon turns with a look none of them expected. Not anger, not fear, but respect. He speaks quietly, almost reluctantly. I don't know how you built this, but the world isn't ready for it. Before anyone can respond, Elon walks around the car again, slower this time, tracing his fingertips across the bodywork like he's trying to understand the impossible by touch alone. Then he asks a question that freezes everyone in place. Can it scale? And before Maxwell can answer, Elon interrupts with another question. What happens when governments realize this eliminates charging infrastructure entirely? The wind goes silent. No one speaks. Because they all know the truth. This invention is bigger than Tesla, bigger than politics, bigger than the entire EV industry. And Elon Musk, for the first time in years, looks uncertain. The team prepares to take the car back to the hangar. But Elon stops them. I want one more test, he says. He points at something no one expected, a steep, unpaved hillside covered in loose rock and gravel. Let's see if it climbs that, he says. Maxwell hesitates. That terrain isn't safe for. Elon cuts him off. If it's truly self-powered, it should outperform any EV on Earth. He gets back into the driver's seat, grips the wheel, and Elon pushes the door shut, the echo rolling across the hillside like a challenge. He tightens his grip on the steering wheel, glances once at the power gauge, still rising from the last run, and presses the pedal. The prototype moves forward slowly at first, its tires crunching over gravel. Then the incline begins. A normal EV would lose torque here. A gas engine would struggle for grip. But this car behaves like the slope isn't even there. Elon increases the pressure on the pedal. The wheels bite into the loose ground, the suspension adjusting instantly, micro-corrections happening at a speed faster than the human eye can follow. Maxwell's engineers stand at the base of the hill, breath held. One whispers, "If he pushes it too hard." Another interrupts sharply. "Nothing we built has failed. Not once." Halfway up the hill, Elon hits a patch of loose rock. The car skids just slightly, but then something extraordinary happens. The vehicle instantly redistributes power between the wheels. No driver input. No traction control warning. Just perfect, adaptive response. The rear wheels lock into the ground like claws. The car stabilizes itself and continues climbing. Maxwell says quietly, without looking away, "That's the self-balancing torque system. It's reading the terrain in real time." Elon keeps pushing upward until the hill becomes almost vertical. The engineers flinch. Maxwell winces. But the car somehow keeps moving. By the time Elon reaches the top, he isn't smiling. He isn't shocked. He isn't impressed. He is changed. At the peak, he steps out of the car and looks down at the group far below. The wind blows across the hillside, carrying dust and disbelief. He shouts down, voice amplified by the natural echo. "This isn't an EV. It's a paradigm shift." Maxwell's team breaks into applause. But Maxwell himself stays silent, studying Elon's expression. Because Elon looks conflicted. He walks slowly around the car at the hilltop, running his fingers across the chassis again, this time with a sense of disbelief mixed with fear. "Show me the generator," he calls down. The team climbs up the hill with tools and instruments. Maxwell approaches with a calm, almost solemn expression. "Are you sure?" he asks. "Yes," Elon replies. So they open the rear compartment. No battery pack. No supercapacitor bank. No hydrogen tank. No fuel cell. Nothing that resembles any known powertrain. Just a compact, sealed graphite gray unit humming at a frequency that doesn't match any engine, any motor, any machine Elon Musk has ever encountered. Elon crouches down, staring at it like he's looking at alien technology. Maxwell says softly, "It doesn't store energy. It creates it." Elon looks up sharply. "That violates every known." Maxwell interrupts, smiling for the first time. "Exactly." Elon stands up, pacing slowly. He's thinking about Tesla factories, supercharger networks, solar infrastructure, every patent he's ever approved, every billion-dollar investment tied to battery technology. And here, right in front of him, is a device that makes all of it obsolete. He exhales deeply, then faces Maxwell. "Do you understand what's going to happen if this gets out?" Maxwell nods. "I do." Elon steps closer. "No, I mean really understand. This won't just disrupt EVs. It will disrupt power grids, oil states, energy markets, national policies, military strategies." Maxwell remains calm. "That's why you're here, Elon." Elon raises an eyebrow. "Why me?" Maxwell replies quietly, "Because you know how to survive what's coming." Elon looks unsettled. For once in his life, he doesn't have the answer ready. Down below, the team begins packing equipment, preparing to return to the hangar. But Elon stays on the hilltop, staring at the horizon again, silent, processing everything he just witnessed. Finally, he says, "I need to test one last thing." Maxwell asks, "What is it?" But Elon just smiles, the way he does when he's about to challenge reality itself. He gets back inside the car, closes the door, starts rolling forward, straight toward the other side of the hill, a side no one uses. A side covered in uneven terrain, exposed roots, and steep drops. One of the engineers shouts, panicked. That's dangerous. He can't. Maxwell raises a hand. Let him learn. Elon floors the accelerator. The car heads toward the roughest terrain in the entire region, engines humming with impossible energy. Elon grips the wheel tightly as the prototype hurtles down the far side of the hill. A slope no engineer ever intended this car to face. The descent is brutal. Uneven rock formations, sharp dips, hidden trenches, twisted roots jutting out like traps waiting to snap an axle in half. But Elon doesn't slow down. The car reacts instantly, like it's reading the ground before its tires even touch it. The suspension lowers itself for stability. Torque shifts from one wheel to another in microbursts. The entire frame tilts, counterbalancing gravity with eerie precision. From the hilltop, Maxwell's engineers watch in disbelief. One shouts, "He's going to roll the damn thing." Another yells, "No conventional EV can survive that terrain." Maxwell remains still, arms crossed, eyes narrowed. He's not watching a car. He's watching a man confront everything he thought he knew. Elon pushes even harder. The descent ends abruptly, dropping into a dry riverbed scattered with boulders. The car leaps. For a split second, the prototype is airborne. The team gasps. Maxwell whispers, "Hold on." The car lands. And the moment the wheels touch the ground, there's a burst of energy through the chassis. Instead of losing power on impact, the power meter spikes. Elon stares at the dashboard, stunned. "This thing converts impact into energy," he mutters. He guns the accelerator again, sending the car tearing through the riverbed. Dust clouds rise behind him like smoke trails. Each bump, each jolt, each vibration. The car absorbs it, feeds on it, becomes stronger from the chaos. It's not just a vehicle anymore. It's a living machine. He pushes deeper into the wilderness, where the terrain grows harsher. Jagged rocks scrape the undercarriage. Branches slap the windows. The ground shifts beneath the wheels. Yet the car refuses to be slowed, refuses to falter, refuses to obey the limits imposed on every vehicle before it. Far behind, Maxwell's team races to keep up in their support vehicles. But they fall further and further behind. They can't handle this terrain. But Elon's cart can. Finally, after several minutes of brutal off-road chaos, Elon brings the car to a stop at a remote clearing. Silent, untouched, bathed in golden sunlight. No engine heat. No smoke. No drained battery. The power gauge is full. Absolutely full. Elon steps out slowly. Dust on his jacket. Sweat on his forehead. And a look in his eyes that Maxwell has never seen in another human being. A mixture of defeat and awakening. He walks around the car, touching its panels, breathing heavily. Then he says, in a low, stunned tone, "This isn't an improvement over EVs. This is the end of EVs." He turns to Maxwell's lead engineer, who finally catches up, panting. "What did you build?" Elon demands. Before the engineer can answer, Maxwell arrives, calm, steady, purposeful. "Elon," Maxwell says softly, "there is one more thing you should see." Elon wipes dust from his hands. "What now?" Maxwell reaches into a small case carried by one of his technicians. He opens it. Inside is a smaller version of a self-power unit, compact, polished, silent, only the size of a shoebox. Elon's jaw tenses. "That's the generator?" Maxwell shakes his head. "No, Elon. This is the mobile version." Elon steps closer, eyes locked on the device. "You're telling me you can power a car with something this small?" Maxwell smiles. "No. I'm telling you, you can power a city with something this small." The forest goes still. Elon takes a step back, speechless. Maxwell continues. "The car is just a demonstration, a proof of concept. But what's inside this box is what governments will fear, what industries will fight, what nations will try to control." Elon whispers. Infinite power. Maxwell nods. And if this gets into the wrong hands, it won't just disrupt transportation. It will collapse entire economies. Elon stares at the device, the weight of its implications hitting him like a tidal wave. For the first time since the test began, he looks genuinely afraid. He turns to Maxwell. Why show this to me? Maxwell replies. Because you're the only person with the resources, influence, and global reach to protect it until the world is ready. Elon looks down at the device again. Then he asks quietly, what happens next? Maxwell glances at the prototype, then at the sky, then back at Elon. That, he says, depends on how far you're willing to go. Elon doesn't respond. Not yet. Because his mind is calculating possibilities, threats, alliances. All while the car behind him hums with impossible, endless power. A gust of wind sweeps through the clearing. The world feels like it's holding its breath. Maxwell waits. Elon breathes in slowly. Elon finally exhales a slow, steady breath that seems to drag the entire weight of the future with it. He stares at the compact energy unit in Maxwell's hand, a device small enough to hide in a backpack, but powerful enough to rewrite human civilization. For several long seconds, he says nothing. Then, close it, Elon murmurs. Maxwell's technician snaps the metal case shut. Elon rubs his temples, pacing in the dust. Do you have any idea what countries will do to own this? He asks. Wars have been started over less. Maxwell nods calmly. That's why we need you. Because you've already survived the kind of pressure that breaks most people. Elon stops pacing. He turns sharply toward Maxwell. You're assuming I want to protect this, he says, and not control it. The engineer team freezes. Even Maxwell's expression shifts slightly. But then Elon smirks just a little. That was a test. If you reacted, I'd know you didn't trust me. Maxwell laughs softly. Trust is why you're here, Elon. And because you don't fear big ideas. Elon looks back at the car, its surface glinting under the sun. The idea of infinite power. A world with no gas stations, no power bills, no infrastructure monopolies. A world that could leap a century ahead overnight. It isn't just disruptive. It's dangerous. We need to leave, Elon says suddenly. Now. Maxwell frowns. Why? Because someone's already watching us. The engineers look around, alarmed. Maxwell narrows his eyes. Who? Elon points to the distant ridge. A faint shimmer, barely visible, reflects off something metallic. A drone. Silent. Watching. Maxwell's team reacts instantly. 2 engineers pull out encrypted signal jammers. Another deploys a portable scrambler device. But Elon raises a hand. No. Don't jam it. If you interfere, they'll know we saw them. Maxwell studies the ridge, jaw tightening. Whose drone is that? He asks. Elon replies without hesitation. Not Tesla. Not the US. Not China. Not Russia. Maxwell clenches his fists. Then who? Elon gives him a cold, calculating look. The people who don't want this technology to exist. The wind picks up. The tone shifts. Everything feels suddenly urgent, fragile, on the edge of something far larger than 2 inventors and a prototype. Maxwell whispers, They found us sooner than I expected. Elon nods. They were already looking. This tech, it's not exactly subtle. The drone shifts position, drifting off the ridge and pivoting for a better angle. Elon's eyes harden. Get the prototype back to the hangar. Load the energy unit into a shielded container. And whatever you do, do not use any communication channels. They're compromised. Maxwell signals the team. They move instantly, disciplined, like this scenario was rehearsed. But before they can act, Elon grabs Maxwell's wrist. Wait. Maxwell turns. What is it? Elon speaks in a low voice. Once we move, that drone will follow the prototype. Not you. Not me. The car is the target. Maxwell's heart sinks. Of course it is. Elon looks around, then looks at the dense forest behind the clearing. We split up, Elon says. You take the generator unit. I'll take the car. Maxwell stiffens.
No.
It's too risky. They'll follow the car. That's the point, Elon interrupts. They follow me.
Not you.
Maxwell's eyes widen. You're volunteering to be the decoy? Elon smirks. Well, I did say I wanted another test drive. Maxwell steps closer, lowering his voice. Elon, if they capture you. They won't. Elon cuts in. I've dealt with worse than faceless men flying illegal drones. He places his hand on Maxwell's shoulder. Protect the generator. The world needs it more than it needs me. Maxwell hesitates, then finally nods. The drone moves closer, its shadow passing over the clearing like a warning. Elon climbs back into the prototype, tightening his seatbelt. Maxwell hands him a small encrypted key. For emergency shutdown, he says softly. Elon takes it. Let's give them something to chase. He slams the door, starts the vehicle, and for the first time, activates full power mode. The car hums like a living engine about to be unleashed. Maxwell retreats into the trees with his team, carrying the small case containing the future of global energy. The drone tilts, locks onto Elon's car, and begins pursuit. Elon glances into the mirror, smirks, and says, All right, let's see if you can keep up. He hits the accelerator, and the self-powered car launches forward like a silent missile, tearing into the forest trail, leaving a storm of dust and destiny behind him. Elon rockets forward, the prototype carving through the forest trail with impossible precision. Branches whip past the windows. Roots rise like traps. The ground shifts beneath the tires. But the car adapts, reacts, and devours terrain like it's built for wilderness, not asphalt. Behind him, the drone dips low, almost skimming the treetops. It's faster now, moving with intent. Tracking him. Studying him. Elon narrows his eyes. So you do want the car, he mutters. He pushes the accelerator harder. The power gauge climbs instead of falling. The car eager for more chaos, more friction, more challenge. The forest thickens. Visibility drops. But the onboard sensors, unlike any Tesla sensor suite, map obstacles dynamically, almost instinctively, keeping the car inches away from collisions. The drone fires a low-frequency scanning beam, a pale blue shimmer through the trees. Elon sees it in the rearview mirror. Oh, great, he mutters. They're extracting a power signature. He swerves sharply to break the line of sight, tires grinding against the forest floor. But the drone adjusts instantly. This is military grade, Elon whispers. No, beyond military grade. The car bursts out of the forest and onto an open savanna-like field. Tall golden grass sways in the rising wind. The drone follows. But this time, another drone appears beside it. Then another. 3. All triangulating. All watching. Fantastic, Elon says dryly. A welcoming committee. He scans the field. Flat, open, vulnerable. No rocks to hide behind. No trees. No cover. Just him, the sky, and 3 black drones humming like predators above him. For the first time, the car's internal system flashes a warning. Tracking signal detected. Elon frowns. You're giving me warnings now? Another line appears. Recommended. Decoy maneuver. Elon blinks. Decoy? You have a decoy mode? The screen flashes. Initiate stealth dissipation protocol? Elon smirks. Well, why not? He taps the option. Instantly, the car's exterior coating changes. The matte black finish ripples like liquid metal, absorbing sunlight, reducing reflectivity, bending infrared signatures. The drones hesitate for the first time, their programmed certainty faltering. Elon whispers, so you can hide. The drones split formation, 1 rising, 2 descending, trying to regain lock. Elon takes his chance. He swerves hard left, heading toward a cluster of massive boulders in the distance. The uneven ground would cripple a normal EV. But this isn't a normal EV. The car leaps over dips, dances between cracks, slides across loose gravel with animal-like agility. The drones struggle to follow. Their stabilization system's not built for such chaotic movement. But they don't give up. The first drone drops altitude. Too low. Too confident. Elon grins. You're mine. He slams the car into a tight sideways drift. Dust explodes. The drone loses visual and crashes straight into a boulder. One down. Two drones remain. Elon guns the accelerator again, climbing the ridge of the rock formation. The car clings to the stone like a lizard. At the top, Elon stops for half a second, scanning the horizon. He sees nothing, just the vast African landscape stretching endlessly. For a moment, there is silence. Then, the remaining drones rise from below the ridge, appearing in front of him like ghosts. They hover inches above the hood. Elon freezes. Well, that's new. The drones tilt, angling their sensors directly at him. A high-pitched hum begins, a scanning pulse building in intensity. Inside the car, the system flashes a new warning. Energy extraction, attempt detected. Elon's expression hardens. They're trying to steal the generator's signature. The hum grows louder, vibrating the car frame, threatening to destabilize the power core. Elon grips the steering wheel. Not today. He slams the car into reverse. The prototype rockets backward down the ridge at breakneck speed. The drones follow, but the angle is too steep. One drone hits a rock ledge, smashing its rotors. It spirals downward, crashing into the dust below. Only one drone remains. Elon reaches the bottom of the ridge, spinning the car in a tight arc. He stares at the last drone, floating steadily in the distance. It is larger, heavier, different. This one wasn't here to chase him. It was here to watch. And now, it begins to unfold. Two mechanized arms extend from its sides. A second sensor array deploys. Panels shift, revealing darker components beneath. Elon whispers, "You're not a drone." The machine shifts again, and a small insignia becomes visible. A symbol Elon recognizes instantly. His eyes widen. No, not them. The machine powers up, locking onto him with a precision that feels personal. Elon tightens his grip on the wheel. "All right," he mutters. "If you want me." He slams the accelerator. "Come get me." The chase erupts again. But now, the hunter is something far more advanced, far more dangerous, and far more interested in the technology inside Maxwell's car. Inside the dimly lit workshop, Elon Musk stood silently as Maxwell placed the self-powered car back onto its charging-free stand. The only sound was the soft hum of the generatorless system powering down, smooth, quiet, self-contained. Maxwell turned to Elon with a calm smile. "So, now you've seen it with your own eyes. No tricks. No external power. No fuel. Just innovation." For a moment, Elon didn't answer. His silence wasn't disbelief. It was acceptance. Because the truth was now undeniable. This wasn't a rumor. This wasn't a myth. This was a working prototype that had just outperformed every expectation. Elon finally exhaled. "Maxwell, if this scales, it changes everything. Production, transportation, even Tesla's entire model." Maxwell nodded slowly. "The world doesn't need another competitor, Elon. It needs collaborators who want the future to win." Elon cracked a rare smile, half admiration, half challenge. "Then maybe the future starts right here." The two shook hands, not as rivals, not as opponents, but as two visionaries standing at the edge of a technological revolution. Outside the workshop, cameras flashed. Journalists gathered. Rumors exploded across the world. And the headline that would dominate the next decade was already forming. A self-powered car has just redefined the auto industry, and Elon Musk was there to witness it. As Maxwell and Elon stepped into the daylight, one thing became clear. This wasn't just the birth of a new type of car. It was the beginning of a new era. A world where energy independence was no longer a dream, but a reality sitting on four wheels. And this time, the future wasn't coming. The future had arrived. Fade out.